Hi everybody, Raging back with another Mechabellum video. Today's video I'm going to show you why Hound Steelball is currently my favorite aggro composition. So, getting straight into it, we are speed spec with crawlers and steelballs, and I'm going to grab myself 2 hounds with this pack. And I've been doing this a lot. I pretty much will always play hounds on aggro. For a long time it's been like Wraith and Arclight, but now we have the hounds that can actually kind of keep pace with these units. And it's just really nice. It's really nice to add with the steel balls. They have really good chaff clear, and they get really strong. I mean, if you give them armor, mech rage, and range, they become like a little carry unit. So that's how I've been playing them a lot lately. A lot of people have been playing fire, hounds, whatever. I don't really play hounds that way. So I still just play like the carry hound. Even though they got nerfed, they need 700 XP now. They're still really good. So I would recommend this. Opponent here is Missile Strike Specialist. Archwise is 1870 MMR. He has sledgehammers, fangs, and arclights. And yeah, like I said, we are speed spec, so we're probably going to win this round because arclights are not that good against hounds. They take a few too many shots, I think, to actually like clear them early, especially since we have speed. Also would like to say quickly that only about 20% of my current viewers on YouTube are subscribed to the channel. So if you do enjoy these videos, give them a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. I do a lot of these replay reviews. I do have some live games, but mostly I do these replay reviews. So yeah, if you find these helpful, consider subscribing. So round 1 here, we will be flying at our opponent. The Hound Steelball Crawler opener is really strong, and it has really good chaff clear. The dogs end up staying behind the steel balls, which is great because the steel balls are like our tank. They're tanking for the hounds, which continue to clear the way for the steel balls to connect to the sledgehammers and the arclights. Now we do have one crawler trying to take the tower, but it doesn't really matter. We should be able to take this round here. Just a few hounds surviving. Would have been better if we got the tower, but the way he positioned there, it was a little tough. So Archwise on round 2 gets himself a 3rd missile strike. So now he has 3 for the rest of the game. And these are really good against the Hound games because they have enough damage on the missiles to like take them out very consistently. But offered to us on round 2 here was a redeployment. So I saved the level 2 Hounds and I moved them to the left here. I'm going to spread across the board. I think when you're playing Hounds, you want to have a symmetrical board. You want to start asim, right, because it's strongest to start that way, but eventually you want to have units all the way across the board. So on round 2 here, our opponent tries to kill both of our hounds. We get a 3rd hound, and I'm just going to be deciding where to put that. I think I just added over here so that I have hounds across the board. Next round, I'll just like replace the hounds here. So he wants to kill hound. He wanted to try to kill my hound here, and he wants to kill my crawlers. So I'm just kind of deciding where I want to put these units since I see that he has these missile strikes, and I'm just sort of like planning out like the rest of my game here. I go with level 1 fangs on this round, and I put them back here, and the reason I do that is I have no upshoot right now, so if he decides to get wasps or like phoenixes, I just want a way of like winning. I also take attack 1 off the tower so that I can kill crawlers in the off chance he gets crawlers. Since that's a breakpoint for hounds. So these early rounds with the missile strikes and the sledgehammers and the arclights and the fangs, it's just very tough for me to get through this wall since sledgehammers are such a great counter to steel balls. So we do lose round 2 here. Not too bad a loss, but like it is more damage than you want to take on round 2. Round 3, we're getting straight into it. We got giants offered here, and this is pretty much where the game starts to take shape. So I think when you're playing against Hound Ball, you probably want to go like Scorching Vulcan early. And he has time to do it here. He takes the melting point. I guess it makes sense. It's just like a big, good defensive unit. In this specific instance, maybe Fortress is kind of good, but melting point's just like a solid pick for him. For me as the aggro player, I go with the level 3 Phoenix since I can take towers, I can kill giants, right? I kind of expect the melting point from him here. And even though I expect the melting point, I immediately grab myself a Rhino. I actually just recruited this Rhino because it's good against the sledgehammers, and I don't have like a great answer to sledgehammers right now. So the idea is I want Rhino to be killing the sledgehammers, and as it kills the sledgehammers, my hounds will be getting the assist and hopefully be leveling. I need levels on these hounds, and I need range on these hounds. It's actually really important for me to get range sooner than later on these guys. That way they can actually be getting experience and leveling. But for now, we have Phoenix, a couple steel balls. I added the Rhino. We do put a Hound over here so that we at least have some chaff clear. I redeploy the Hounds from the left here and bring them back to the right. So we have good chaff clear. We have good chaff. And now we have a Rhino. And he decides to put his melting point over here, luckily for us. So Rhino will get some good purchase over on this side. He'll be able to clear these sledgehammers to clear the way for the steel balls to get to the tower. And Phoenix's at level 3 will just be extremely solid here and should easily be able to kill melting points early on like this. So it's looking good for us right now. But again, things that I need to look out for is Scorch Vulcans. Like if he starts to go Scorch Vulcans, I need to potentially start to pivot away from what I'm doing. But if he just keeps going melting point, I can keep going heavier and heavier into steel balls, since they, with enough steel balls, will overwhelm melting points. That's where my mind's at right now in this game. It's a pretty good round here. We do pretty well because we have the Rhino and the Phoenix. We do get a steel ball level 2. That's really nice. Round 4 comes up. Rhino Assault looks pretty good. I mean, I can make super heavy balls, but it's just a little expensive for round 4. So yeah, we both take the Rhino Assault. It's just a good spell. And I already have Rhino, so if I'm thinking about teching it, this will be a nice spell to have in the off chance that I actually like go heavier into Rhino. But he does have these melting points, right? So probably gonna eventually get out of Rhino. He does drop the Rhino behind us. We drop it behind him as well. He's added a melting point to deal with our Rhino and stuff on this side. He also oils us, which is good with the melting point, and immediately goes into diffraction since he's facing hounds and steel balls. And personally, I'm gonna pause it real quick. I like to see diffraction melting points when I'm playing this, because diffraction melting points, they ramp slower, and all I really have to do is make a ton of steel balls with mech div. I've been doing this pretty often. Like I said, we want Hound range sooner than later, so I'm taking it here on round 4. Preferably, I like to have Hound range on round 3. We've redeployed some crawlers that I had here back to the center, playing around the Rhino Assault. Also add more crawlers here and more crawlers here, since I don't know where the Rhino Assault will be. And honestly, it's fine. Like, Rhino Assault is a good spell against aggro, but it forces me to get my deploys, right? So now we have late crawlers, which is just good anyway, so it's not too bad for us. Also take speed. We want to try and just get right in there, and also I want my Rhino to like get in there also from behind. So we should be able to deal with this. These crawlers, like I said, they all kind of run over. We do have oil, but we have a Rhino behind and a Rhino in front, and we have steel balls, but mostly it's these level 3 Phoenixes that he has to be scared of. These things will basically carry us here, since they can kill this melting point really quickly. And now we have Hound range as well. We actually stay back like relatively good against the 85-meter melting point. We have 110. It's pretty good, actually. And we have lots of crawlers still alive. So we'll also get this melting point as well. I mean, this Phoenix is just carrying. Look at the damage on this guy. This is a great aggro unit. And honestly, units that I add to this composition is pretty much just like balls, hounds, Phoenix, wasps, rhinos, and that's like it. That's like all you need. You'll see. This gets, this is a long game. It's like 10 rounds, but you can see what it'll do to multi-melters. Again, committing to multi-melters so early, like round 5, something I can also do is get melting points with range, and I'll always outrange these guys. But since I already have steel balls and I'm speed spec, I'm just going to go heavier into steel balls. But just to let you know, going early energy diffraction, not a good play. I don't think you want to do that. Just get the melting points. And honestly, when I see hounds like this, I'm getting Vulcans. But he's going to be using arc lights. And I think if he uses Vulcans, he would have like a much better time. So yeah, anyway, round 5 here, he's double missiling my Phoenix, since it doesn't have enough health to survive a play like that. And I immediately go more steel balls with mech div. Like I said, when I face multi-melters, look, he's getting another one, and he's a level 2 guy, and he's getting more sledgehammers. I'm adding mech div steel balls here, just mostly to be like a pain in the ass. And I'm adding mech div steel balls here, and I'm getting myself some more crawlers as well with a mass recruit. I'm just going to rely on these mech div steel balls now at this point, and I go with mobile beacon on the tower here to try and... Do I mobile beacon these? Yeah, I mobile beacon these, playing around the missile strike to save my phoenixes, and it actually works. So let's see how Mechabellum steelballs do here. I'm just like moving around the oil, right? I don't want to like run straight into that. So there's lots and lots of crawlers now with the Mechabellum, and we still have some steel balls out here alive, but Phoenix is a little distracted shooting these units over here. I need them to be shooting this melting point. All right, so we take the tower. We do kill this melting point. Let's see, can we kill the level 2 guy? We lose our tower to a single crawler here. Really bad timing, and because of that, we will lose to the melting points. They are still melting points after all. We do kill one, but now I'm losing this tower. The fraction melter is moving in for the kill. Opponent takes round 5. Starting to charge up now. Consideration for me is heavy armor on steel balls or efficient light manufacturing. And actually, I did take heavy armor, but I think efficient light, it's round 6. It's a tough call, but I think it's still better since I'm going to be getting lots more deploys since I'm playing like a medium heavy board. I think I should take that instead of heavy armor there, but I did take heavy armor. I put it on steel balls. I redeploy the rhino from over here and pair it with the heavy armor steel balls. Opponent is missiling out my flank, and I go with impact drill crawlers since I have so many crawlers coming out of the steel balls that I might as well have the crawlers be doing more damage as well. It's more steel balls, and this is honestly how I play Hound steel ball a lot. The reason I'm getting a lot of steel balls right now is because I'm facing multi-melters, so I need lots of chaff to protect my hounds and my phoenix and my rhinos and stuff. I move this rhino because I see that there's a hole right here in my opponent's board, and I want to beacon the rhino up and in right here, which I think it gets in. It's like, this is a crazy tower snipe. Opponent here on this side has made this level 3, has decided he doesn't want me to be taking his towers, and if I do take it, he won't have as big of a debuff. That's kind of also why I come over here. I get 2 more steel balls, and I get myself a phoenix here as well, so now we have phoenix on both sides. I take speed. We're going 22 meters per second here. Let's see how our rhino can do. Also missile out some fangs. I squeak right in here. I remember this. I get right in here. He's stuck shooting crawlers and like steel balls the whole time, and the rhino just clutches up. Yeah. That's a really like ideal round for us. So we're getting good hound levels now as well, since we're killing these melting points. We have impact drill, we have steel balls, and you can see the flood is already beginning to descend upon my opponent here. He does have a level 3 tower, but everything's dead. And check these phoenixes out. We're at 200,000 damage. Let's see how they do it throughout the game here. It's really clutch to have these phoenixes as well, because they do so much damage against like these high-level towers. They become very important to this build. Opponent here goes with Tarantula. He does get a level 2 Vulcan offered to him on this turn, and he should definitely... So he takes Tarantula thinking this is good chaff clear, right? He's going to like take high explosives or something here, and like this is going to be his chaff clear unit. But honestly, the level 2 Vulcan is so good for him there. It negates armor on hounds. It negates armor on steel balls. It's perfectly paired with the melting points, and he has slots for Vulcans right here. So Vulcan Scorch, he should take that. It's like the perfect drop for him. Honestly, it kind of saves him, bails him out, but he goes with the Tarantulas. So I'm going to be moving these Phoenixes this turn over to this side. Yeah, so now our strong side is on the left. It was on the right, now it's on the left. Also take the Raiden on this turn. Raiden, I could go heavier into Raiden during this game, but I think I'm just gonna like use it for now, and then I think I get out of it. I just go heavier into whatever I'm like already doing here. I do level this Rhino, and I'm gonna probably try the same exact beacon again. Opponent's done with shenanigans. He has 2 level 3 towers now. I don't hate level 3 towers, but also, look, he goes with more triple arc light because he needs chaff clear. The Vulcan, it was just perfect for him, right? So he should just take Vulcan. He should probably just sell these Tarantulas if his plan is arc light also. He doesn't need 2 of the same chaff clear unit. Maybe he just wants these for bodies. I'm not sure, but yeah, Vulcan's like really good for him. You probably want to be killing my units instead of like relying more on like your tower fortification. So he's misplaying this slightly, but he's just, you know, believing in the multi-melter, which does reliably work like a lot of the time. So I don't hate his like logic, but with so many triple recruit, 3 more balls here. Yeah, so I'm just spamming steel balls and hounds. So the Vulcan would have been perfect for him. Now we have more steel balls. Let's see. I'm just like using them as chaff. Mostly like they'll eat missiles, these front ones. They'll turn into crawlers, and then the second wave of steel balls will be our killing steel balls. Let's see how well more steel balls can do here. So this rhino into the tower here is not as good as last time. But we have so many steel balls, it's like an actual flood. However, this level 3 tower will prove to be a bit too much for us here, as the steel balls have all died to the multi-melters and arc lights. I don't really have a good way of killing the remaining melting points with what I have left. So this big level 2 melting point will clear the rest of my units. Round 8. We have some options here. Improved firepower control system. Some giant barrier for my opponent is like perfect, basically. Improved firepower control system, though, on my Giga Phoenix is great, since look how much damage it's already doing. If I could put this on here, it will basically immediately kill these level 3 towers if it ever gets the chance to shoot it. I do go with the improved firepower control system. Just seeing what my opponent did last time with the missile strikes, I'm going to redeploy the Phoenix. Yeah, look, he's double missiling Phoenix again. I'm moving this Phoenix to just like a safe spot. I think I put it over here this turn. Dropping his Rhino Assault right here on us. I'm dropping my Rhino Assault directly behind him just to like distract these center melting points a little bit so that our units can fly in here. I also see that he has oil up, and now that I've moved all of my units over here to the left, I know he's going to oil here, so I need to go back to the right. Yeah, lots of missiles and all this stuff. And now we have energy absorption on steel balls to compete with the melting points. So if we ever latch to melting points, we'll be able to out-heal them. Deciding where I'd like to put the Phoenix, and I'm deciding still what I'd like to buy for the round. But I've gone with energy absorption. So just 3 more steel balls. So you can see, I've recruited 3 steel balls for like 3 turns in a row almost here. All right, so now we have steel balls everywhere, and something I need to think about getting is some hounds over here. I have no hounds. I do have good hounds over here. In these later rounds, I'm going to just need more hounds since I have so many steel balls. I basically have like chaff covered, right? And like I said, I'm moving my units over to this side since I suspect oil here. Steel balls just annihilate the rhino here. Now that we have energy absorption on the steel balls, we'll be having a much better time, especially against shields, towers, and melting points. Look how quick these guys are going. 22 meters per second. Pretty crazy. Yeah, so now we're able to hold our own against these melting points, and the incredible power of these improved firepower control system Phoenix. I don't even need to do anything to these guys. They're leading in damage. I need to think about mech rage on hounds as well for better chaff clear. I like to save the mech rage on hounds for like an insane power spike. So like once I'm already sort of winning, which I sort of am here, right? I've lost to the 1 melting point. It looks like basically if I click mech rage on dogs, I'm going to be absolutely blowing through everything. Since I don't have it, but once I get it, you can see how well that last round went already. Also, on this round we had some unit drops. We both just take the level 3 wasps. It just makes the most sense for us here. Since like I don't have necessarily proper like answer against the wasps. I am noticing I need chaff clear. So I've moved the Giga Balls to the right to pair with my Phoenixes here. I'm pushing all the buttons at this point since it's do or die, seemingly. I mean, this is a lot of melting points. Opponent here gets immediately goes range AA wasps, which is a really good play considering I only have a couple Phoenixes and a Raiden. I don't tech my wasps this turn. We need these wasps to like clean up at the end a lot, which means that we need our front units to really get in here really fast to distract the hell out of these wasps. We have a level 5 Phoenix here doing 54,000 damage with a single volley, and you can see that the health on the tower here is 59,400. So this unit is our tower taking unit. And like I said, I'm going Mech Rage Hounds here now, and I'm going to start just getting Hounds. I sold the Raiden. Raiden's not really helping me as much as I'd like to. I just triple recruit some blue Hounds here. Watch the difference between this round and last round. The power of Hound Ball here is in full effect. So now the build is basically fully online. Steel Ball Chaff out the wazoo. They are sucking and they are mech diving. And we have Impact Drill Crawlers, Giga Phoenix, and some late arriving Wasps. Watch how good these Hounds do. I take oil. I kind of like thought he was going to light me on fire or something here, but he doesn't end up doing that. And actually I kind of troll myself a little bit because this oil slows my own units and not that good. But we're over on this side now, so let's see how well we can do. The Hounds are going to make a huge difference with Mech Rage. They're faster, they shoot faster, and they, you know, they're just better DPS overall. Absolutely crushing the front of this board my opponent has, allowing the steel balls to get in, do what they need to do, take towers, and honestly, like almost all my wasps are basically already dead. It's just going to come down to these phoenixes. All I really need to do is just like match his range and AA on his wasps, and I basically have solved every problem on the board. But look how many more hounds we have alive compared to last time, and we're just annihilating these melting points with the hounds as well as the steel balls. And we're going to clear the rest of these wasps with the remaining phoenixes. And like I said, I kind of troll myself because there's oil here now, but that's a small round. But once I solve the wasp problem, it's going to be much better here. I think I should pick photon emission, but I think I take intensive training because I just want to train these balls to level 5. I think photon coating is safer since I'm a bit prone to EMP, and photon would just be like a really safe play for me. So I think intensive training is a slight misplay. Opponent on this turn just gets more melting points. He's packing these dudes in, and he also has energy absorption now as well to match the energy absorption on my steel balls. He wants to try and outpace my steel balls with healing. I go range AA wasps. I get another level 1 wasp since I really just need them to like sit back and kill these wasps. These wasps did more than I wanted them to last turn. It's pretty much the whole reason that we only had a few units alive instead of like almost all my units alive. Yeah, I get 2 more elite hounds as well for the board. I put one here on the left since I have like almost no chaff clear here. This is the new one, and this is the new one as well. We have some hounds across the board now. We have better chaff clear for this side, which should be better at the end for when this side collapses over to the left. Since this is my strong side, I just need this side to do as much as it possibly can. And same beacon, we're just going to try and take the tower, but now we have range AA wasps, which hopefully will be able to take out his wasps and allow the rest of our army to really do some good work here. And I'm just leveling a couple hounds. So watch the power of Hound Ball against 8 like triple tech multi-melters, man. It's just so much chaff and healing steel balls. And just so much chaff clear and damage from these hounds. Look at this. It's just it's a flood. Yeah, we just get the towers anyway. So, with the addition of the AA range wasps, we have no problems left on this board, and he basically has no way of like recovering. He is defeated here with the super powerful blob of units. So yeah, this is how I've been playing Hound Ball. Like almost all my aggro games are Hound Ball like this, and it's awesome. There's always like phoenixes thrown in the mix here. There's very often wasps just sort of like thrown in the mix here. Like for a long time, sandworm wasp was like a composition, right? Like where the sandworm blocks for the wasps and stuff and like does sandstorm. But this is just so much better than like a few sandworms because you have a board of chaff at chaff clear, and then not just chaff clear. 342,000 damage on Hound, 148, 172, 350,000 damage most units killed. It's pretty crazy. These phoenixes did 750,000 damage as well. The wasps were just here to clear his wasps, but you can add all kinds of stuff to this. Wasps, phoenix, steel balls, hounds, crawlers, rhinos, right? Like anything that moves fast, you can add Raidens, you can add Overlords. Actually, Overlord is something that I throw in this mix quite often against things like EMP for like just Botan. And like if they go like Degen Beam Wraith, Photon Boat is also good against that. Something you want to look out for if you decide to play this composition, if your opponent starts to go Vulcans with range and Scorch pretty early on, once they see Hound Steel Ball, you probably need to start to do something a little bit different, or like start getting lots of levels on Steel Balls, and maybe Armor can sort of outpace Vulcans if they only have level 1 Vulcans or something. But once they get level 2 Vulcans with Scorch, Armor kind of stops working and Hounds die pretty fast, even if you go Armor on them. I would say early Vulcans is kind of scary. You probably need to pivot to like some air units, get more Phoenixes, get more Wasps, right? Maybe not go into this as heavy, but for the most part, like against basically everything else besides Vulcans, multi-melters just don't even stand a chance. They got completely annihilated here. This is like this build here in the past without Hounds in this mix has completely destroyed me playing aggro for like as long as I can remember. Since all I can usually use before Hounds is Arclights and Wraiths, melting points just feast on those things. So the Hounds have been absolutely incredible. They keep pace with my Steel Balls and my Crawlers. They like have good speed. There's many of them, which melting points also don't like to play against. With the addition of Steel Balls with Mecdiv, it's just a total flood of units. They completely overwhelm the melting points. And this is a lot of melting points. I mean, this is pretty degenerate behavior here. Like I said, he's 1870 MMR. He has 8 multi-melters, triple teched. Pretty wild. How many Steel Balls did I have? A dozen Steel Balls, each making 20 Crawlers, which is 240 Crawlers if he's able to kill all these Steel Balls. The number of bodies on the Hounds, I mean, it's so many like individual units. The multi-melters just like can't cut it, right? So that's why you want Vulcans. On round 7, there was a level 2 Vulcan offered, which is probably kind of like a get out of jail free card for my opponent here. So let's give that a try. Let's take Vulcans instead of Tarantulas. That's what he took last time. Take Vulcan. This is like the strong side here, so let's get Vulcan. We probably need a Vulcan for this. Need Scorch. What this kind of play with Vulcans, like what will be my response, right? If he goes Vulcans, is it will prompt me to take range on Steel Balls and energy absorption as well. Like I'll have to do something because I have so many Steel Balls. I can't just like stop doing what I'm doing. That's why this drop is like pretty good for him. Probably get another Vulcan as well. Probably get temp range so that the Vulcan has a little bit more range as well as the melting point. And what else? Probably more sledgehammers this situation. And then I probably want to missile something just to make it stop flying down the board so fast. Actually, maybe it's just good to put some sledgehammers in front of the Vulcan. Just maybe missile the Steel Balls here. Let's just see how well like the addition of Vulcans do here. So we have 3 Vulcans instead of the Tarantulas. I think last time he won this round with a single melting point that survived. He also leveled this tower to level 3, which I didn't do this time. Yeah, so Raiden actually kills the tower. I think even if he doesn't win this round, the addition of the Vulcans and the ability to go range on the Vulcans as well next turn puts him in a lot better position. Okay, so he still wins by a single multi-melter, but in the long run, this play, I think with the Vulcans, is a lot better for him. So last time he leveled this tower to level 3 and just like got more like multi-melters and won by a single melting point. This time, he's established like a much better chaff clear unit with a lot more damage, 381. So even if I take armor, you can see why the Vulcan Scorch is so much stronger than like every other unit. Like for chaff clear against like armor units like this, even if I go armor on Hounds, it doesn't matter, right? Like this is just too much damage for me to like handle, especially if he goes attack 2 or something, right? Just going Vulcans, he can protect his flanks. It pairs with the multi-melters really, really well. Yeah, I think he would just have like a lot better time. So him getting this for free is kind of ideal, right? Because it kind of bails him out. But yeah, anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. Thanks very much for watching. Like I said at the beginning of the video, only about 20% of the viewers are currently subscribed. So if you like this content and you're a new player and you learn anything, give it a like. Consider subscribing for more content like this. I mostly do these replay reviews, but I also have live games and a few other types of videos that I like to put out. But This is my bread and butter here, these replay reviews. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to try and answer those. Till next time, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.